Hey guys, welcome to Coding in Flow. In this tutorial we will learn how we can add custom fonts to our Android app. We will learn how we can apply them to single views, like our text views here, how we can apply them to themes, to change the font of our whole app or particular activities, and I will also show you how you can change the font of the toolbar specifically, in case you want to use a different font in your toolbar than in the rest of your app. And there are two ways we can add these custom fonts to our project. We can either put them directly into our resource folder, in which case they will be bundled together with the APK file. That has the benefit that it always works even if the app is offline all the time. The other option is to use downloadable fonts, which don't ship with the APK file. Instead they are loaded dynamically. This has the benefit that we have smaller APK files and that the user's phone doesn't have to store the same font file multiple times. The downside of downloadable fonts is that they might require an internet connection, depending if another app already cached the same font earlier, and it's also a bit more complicated to set up and understand. In this video we will focus on fonts that we put directly into our resource folder, and I will make a separate tutorial on downloadable fonts in the future, so make sure to subscribe to not miss that. For this video I've already prepared a simple layout with 4 text views that each say hello world. As usual, you can also find a link to the code snippets for this example in the description box below. And these custom fonts are backwards compatible down to API level 16, but only if you use the AppCompat libraries. So we take a look into our Gradle scripts folder here, into a build.gradle with module::app in its name. And here we have to make sure that we have the AppCompat library added. This is added into a new project by default, and the version has to be at least 26. Not lower than that, but if you are already using the Android X dependencies, which will be the case for basically everyone that watches this video in the future. So if this part here says Android X instead of just Android, then the version number here doesn't matter because they started after 26. But again, if you just create a new project, this should all be set up by default without you having to change anything. And we also need Android Studio version 3, so make sure this is updated as well. And the easiest and quickest way to get custom fonts into our app is by going into a layout file where we have a text view, and then we switch over to the design tab down here. We click on one of these text views, which will open this attributes bar here on the right side, and then we have to search for the attribute that says fontFamily, this one here. Now when we click somewhere here, we actually see this drop down menu. We open this. Now we can pick between some default fonts, but when we scroll all the way down we can see this, more fonts. We click on it, which opens this window, and here on the left you can scroll through all kinds of fonts. As you can see here, they all come from Google Fonts, and Google Fonts are open source. So you can use these fonts in your app for free, even for commercial purposes, so even if your app makes money. I'm gonna pick this one here. Then on the right we can select between different variations of this font. I'm gonna pick regular. I'm also gonna rename this to _regular. And here we can select between create downloadable font or add font to project. And we said that we want to add this directly to our resource folder, so we select add font to project. And then we click OK. Now we can find this font in our resource folder, where I created this newer font folder, and here it is. If you want to add fonts from another source, you can also create this folder manually. Just right click on res and create a new Android resource directory. And this supports TTF and OTF files. You just have to keep in mind that the file name only supports lowercase letters and underscores. So you can't put uppercase letters or hyphens in here, then it will not work. When we double click on it, we even have a preview of this font. And as you already saw, this is applied to our text view automatically when we selected it. And this happens through this fontFamily attribute here, which is now set to add font, Simonetta, regular. So this is quite easy, but you might want to add different variations of this font to your project. So instead of just regular, I also added an italic version, a black version, which is basically bold, and a bold italic one. Now of course we could just apply this to a text view directly. So we could write Simonetta black, for example, which will apply this font. This works, but the better way is to let the system decide between these different variations, depending on the text style, instead of hard-coding them directly. And we can do this by bundling these different fonts together into one fontFamily file. For this we right-click on the font folder and create a new font resource file. I call this just Simonetta, don't change anything else, and click OK. This creates this XML file with these fontFamily tags. And in here, we can add these different font variations together with the appropriate attributes. For this we write opening angle bracket font, and now we can add different attributes to it. First of all, the font itself, the one that we want to pick. So for example, our Simonetta regular, which we already know, we can already close this with a slash and a closing angle bracket. And then we can tell the system what style this font represents. So we can write fontStyle. And here we can just choose between normal and italic. So this is not an italic font, so we pick normal. And the other attribute to distinguish between these fonts is the fontWeight. Here we have to add an integer, which is a multiple of 100. And this number represents the thickness of the font. So for example, 400 is usually used to represent the regular version of a font, and 700 is bold. This is not Android specific, this is also the same in, for example, web development. And by adding these numbers here to the fontWeight attribute, we can tell the system what weight this font file represents. So this is a regular font, and regular has the font weight 400. And on API level 28 and higher, we can later in code select between these different weights, and then the system will pick the appropriate version of the font from this list here. But on API levels lower than 28, the only way we can specify what weight we want to pick is by applying either textStyle bold to our TextView or not. So this means right now it doesn't really make sense to add any other font weights than 400 and 700, because we don't have this granularity in code, only on API level 28. If this confuses you, don't worry, you will see how this works in a moment. We copy this and paste it 3 more times for our other 3 variations. A font weight of 400 and a font style of italic is of course our Simonetta italic variant. A font style normal and a font weight of 700 is bold. Now I have picked black, which is actually even thicker than bold, but there was no bold version available, so I picked this one. And then we can also say italic and a font weight of 700, which would then be our bold italic or black italic in this case. But now we see that we have these warnings because these attributes only work on API level 26 and higher. And to fix this, we simply change this to app, which will give us this warning. So we click on it, and when it's underlined, we press Alt Enter, and then on Create Namespace Declaration, which adds this app namespace up here. If it didn't work for you, you can also just type it out manually. And then we change all these other Android prefixes here to app as well. So change all of them to app colon. And this will now work on API levels lower than 26 as well. Now I have often read that you have to add both the app and the Android versions, because otherwise it would not work on API level 26 and higher. However, I think this has been fixed because I tried it on API level 26 and 28 and it worked on both phones. If you find that it doesn't work on API level 26, then just copy these attributes and add them again and change app back to Android, like this. So you have both versions. But again, this should not be necessary anymore, just if you run into problems. Okay, and now let's go back to our activity main layout, where we still have our 4 text views. Instead of Simonetta black, we use our Simonetta font family on all of them. So we add font family, Simonetta to the other ones as well. Copy, paste, paste. And the way how we can now let the system decide which font variation is the appropriate one is by applying textStyle attributes to our text views. So on the first one, we want to use the regular font, so we don't add any textStyle there at all. On the second one, I want to show the italic version, but instead of hard coding Simonetta italic, we want to let the system decide which is the appropriate one. So we just apply textStyle and choose italic. Now the preview is not working correctly. This is actually not the italic variation that we added to the project. This is the italic variation that the system generated out of the normal font. It shouldn't look like this, and it won't look like this when we start our app. This is just a problem with the preview. We want to make the third text view bold. But again, instead of hard coding Simonetta black, we set the text style to bold, which will now pick the font variation that has a font weight of 700. And when we want to apply this one here with italic and 700, we add textStyle, bold, vertical bar, italic. Again, this isn't previewed correctly, but this will work when we start our app, so let's test it. So this is regular, this is italic. You can see it by these letters, which look slightly different. This is black, and this is black italic. So these 4 variations are the ones that make sense to add to a font family for API levels lower than 26. Normal, normal italic, bold, and bold italic. On 28 onwards we have some more granularity, so we could also add font weight 200 or 900, but this will not work on API levels lower than 28. Next thing I want to show you is how you can apply these fonts application-wide and not only to a single text use. For this we go into the values folder here, which is under res as well. And then we open styles.xml. This contains our app theme, which is the theme for our whole application. And here we can add another item and specify font family directly in here, closing angle bracket. And then we add our Simonetta font family, the same way as we did it on TextViews directly. This will now be applied to our whole app, also to buttons for example. But instead of using it on the app theme, you can also use it on activity themes or on themes for particular views. You just have to use this item here. When we start it like this, we can see that the font family is now also applied to the toolbar, because this belongs to the app theme. And now I will also show you how you can change the font of the toolbar specifically, independently from the rest. For this I have replaced the default action bar for a toolbar, the exact same way as we did it in my toolbar tutorial. If you haven't watched it yet, you can find it when you click on the little eye in the top right corner. And just like there, I've added the toolbar as a separate layout file, added it to the activity layout with this include tag, gave it an ID, and then in the main activity, I set it as a support action bar. If you don't know how this works, watch the toolbar tutorial. But when we go into the toolbar file, we will see that we can't add the font family attribute directly, it doesn't support it. But what we can do is adding it to the toolbar theme. So in the toolbar tutorial we added this AppCompat dark action bar theme to our toolbar layout. And what this does is making the text and the menu icon in the toolbar white instead of black. And we can use this to create our own custom theme, where we then apply our font family attribute. So we copy this line. Then we go into our styles.xml file again. And here we create another style. Opening angle bracket style. We give it a name, for example, toolbar theme overlay, but you can call it whatever you want. But important, the parent attribute has to be the theme that we just copied. Then we close this with a closing angle bracket, which creates this style closing tag. And in here we put the same attribute as up here, item font family. But instead of Simonetta, I will pick a different one, which is called Architect's Daughter, just to see the difference. Then we go back to our toolbar layout. And instead of this style, we add our own toolbar theme overlay, like this. And when we start it again, our toolbar now has a different font than the rest of the app. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is how you can apply these fonts dynamically in Java code. For this we go into our main activity. We create a reference to our text viewer. And I've given one of these 4 text views an ID, the first one. And first we have to load the font, which we do by creating a typeface variable, this one here. Let's call it typeface equals. And then normally we would get this font with getResources, getFont, and then we would pass the ID of the font. But as you can see from this warning here, this only works on API level 26 and higher. Instead we have to use a compat version of this method. So we write ResourcesCompat with capital R dot getFont, which does the same, but this works on lower API levels as well. Here we have to pass a context first, so we pass this, and then the font resource ID, which we get with r.font. Let's use Architect's Daughter again, semicolon. And let's apply this to our text viewer when we click it, so we can see the difference. So we take our text viewer, set an onClick listener as usual, and then we simply call textViewer.setTypeface and pass our typeface variable. And now when we run it again and click our first text viewer, it changes. This is how you change the font in Java code. Now I also mentioned that on API level 28 onwards we have more granularity here to switch between these different font weights. I have not seen many ways of doing this. I guess they will add more possibilities for this in the future. What we can do is we can wrap our typeface into another typeface variable. Let's call it just tier. And then we call typeface with capital T dot create. And one variation of these methods takes the weight as an input. So the first argument is our first typeface, because we want to use the architect's daughter font. The second argument is the weight, so we could say we want to choose a weight of 200, which would be a thin font. And then a boolean if we want to apply italic or not. So false would be the default variation. But as I already said, this only works on API level 28 entire, so it's not really of much use for most people. Just to show you how this works. And in XML, there's also a textFontWeight attribute, which is also only available on 28 entire, but I tested it on 28 and it did not work for me. Maybe they will implement this in the future, just so you saw that. But right now we can basically just switch between regular, italic, bold or bold italic. Or of course you can always apply the font to the fontFamily attribute directly. Then you can pick whatever font you want. Okay, this is how you use custom fonts as resources in your Android app. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss the downloadable fonts video. And if this was helpful, please leave a like. Take care.